What operation did you say you were going to have?
What?
You.
I wanted to have, can I say it?
Well, you've said it earlier.
I wanted to have my tits switched.
What does that mean?
They take the left one and put it on the right one, and the right one put it on the left one.
So you're going through some sort of discomfort?
No. I just wanted to see if the surgery could be done. It's kind of my challenge to the medical community. And so I'm going to miss work for
I don't think
6
any
weeks.
doctor would do that.
That is the oddest elective surgery I've ever heard of.
Well, I didn't think it through. But it's just an idea, okay?
Okay,
There's
I'm
no
not
such
yelling
thing
at
as
you. I'm just questioning the move.
A bad idea. Especially involves these. I need to get a reduction is what I think.
Yeah, I do too.
The Musers, the podcast, episode 13, The Pet Peeves.
Welcome to The Musers, the podcast. Welcome back to Musers, the podcast. This is me assuming that we have regular listeners.
Yay, regular listeners. Okay.
Yes, we are The Musers. I'm Gordon.
I'm George.
I'm Craig.
And we've been doing a radio show together for 300 years now. Wow. 3 centuries. We've been best friends for almost that amount of time as well. So on the pod so far, we've discussed people we love. We've discussed things we love. And I figure now it's time to get really down and dirty and talk about negative stuff. We're going to go negative. You know, they teach you how to win a campaign.
Yeah.
And since we're on a campaign for ears and hearts, we're going to go really negative. So we're going to discuss things we hate, things that bug the hell out of us and cause unnecessary discomfort. Now, I'm trying to be a person who doesn't have pet peeves.
Trying to just roll with it.
Yeah, trying to roll with it, you know, be a little bit more hippie and, you know, go with the flow and just a leaf floating on the river. But I'm kind of torn between two impulses. I want to also be more assertive and quit rolling over and taking it from everyone in my life and every company I deal with. You know, just I want to graciously accept getting screwed over as well. So I have these two impulses that counter each other. So I don't know where I land on that spectrum. It depends on the day. So I figured we would share some of our pet peeves. And on our radio show, which is our day job, I've discussed many of these, like left lane campers. People just stay in the passing lane the whole time and drive the speed limit. That needs to go away. People turning into the roadway that I'm in, and they take up my lane when there's 2 or 3 other ones that are completely empty. And then in my rearview mirror, when I pass them aggressively, swerve out of the way, and get back into the lane, I notice then they change lanes. They didn't even want to be in my lane to begin with. You know, things like that are pretty universal. But I wanted us to tell stories of things that have happened to us recently that have really bugged the hell out of us. Okay. And I have a few. I had one that just occurred the other morning, and that is, you know, I hate hall talk. Hallway small talk is like the bane of the business world to me.
Yeah.
And I always get caught in the double question, which leaves me feeling awkward for about 30 minutes afterwards, which is the double question of, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? And then nobody answers each other's question, but we've just double questioned each other.
Yeah.
Well, there's a flip side to this, and this is what I experienced the other day, and that was somebody said hi to me and said, how you doing? I said, oh, good, man. And then that was it. And then afterwards there was a pause, and then they said, noticed you didn't ask how I was doing. I'm like, okay, and now I got to start paying attention to that. I mean,
yeah, I think you are required to ask then how are they doing?
But people aren't really asking how you're doing. They're saying hi.
Maybe they are. Maybe they just made a decision. You know what? I'm going to start caring about my fellow employee more.
I don't think so.
Some people may actually care, but I think it's just a formality. It's more of just an extension of saying hi. You're right. But you need to reciprocate.
But then that prolongs the small talk.
But it's like someone walking by you and saying hi, and then you not saying hi back. That's what the equivalent is.
No, it's not the equivalent, because I'm responding to that person. I'm saying I'm answering meeting their eye contact and giving them the answer to their question.
There's an expectation there.
It's a loving act for me to answer their question.
But you're really only responding with your own information. You're making it all about you.
Right.
Well, they made it all about me when they asked how I was doing. They didn't ask how I think they're doing.
But you need to make it about them as well by reciprocating and ask how they're doing.
No, okay, this is what I'm going to do to battle that, because it ticks me off. Because this person sitting there, no, she didn't ask how I was, and making me feel bad, and like. So next time I see this person, I'm going to really sidle up to them in the hallway and do hey man, listen, how are you doing? I mean, is everything, I mean, are things going well? Yeah, fine. No, I really want to know how you're doing.
Maybe they'll tell you, hey, something's really bothering me, and I appreciate you asking, and then they'll tell you what they're going through.
Yeah, you might step in it. They might unload on you.
That's fine. I'll take that.
Boy,
I'll take that.
They do.
I'll take that.
I'm going to go pre-warn everyone. Hey, if Gordon asks you how
have a
you're
long
doing,
story prepared.
Give him a really long story. You're right.
No, but it would give them a taste of their own medicine about how this is small talk. We're not trying to really check in on each other's emotional well-being.
You're right about that. It is a formality, but I think we are required to return how are you doing? It'll take a second. They'll go, hey, great. And you're on about your day. You're fine. But it is such a formality that I find myself in a lot of mismatches. Like, how are you doing? Hi. You got the wrong response already prepared. Hey, what's going on?
Because you're on autopilot.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I mean, not much.
Right. I've done
doesn't
that
match
too.
up
I
what
can't
they've
tell you
said.
how many times I've had someone say to me, okay, enjoy your meal. And I'll say, you too, to the waiter.
Right. Yeah, that's another one.
Dang
You
it.
too.
Oh, man, I was on autopilot.
But George is right. Society functions on all of us playing this game. You just have to respond.
Can society please quit functioning then?
To just keep going. Well, we're trying
we're
our
about to.
damnedest.
Yeah.
We're trying our damnedest to not function.
We do have a person that works in the building where we work, and he gives the same response to us every time. And since we happen to be male, it's there he is. And we have worked with him for 20 years.
Yep.
And he has never called us by name. So it brings up the question, does he know our name?
No,
He does
this
not.
is his workaround. And I think it's pretty genius of this guy to do this. No matter what you say to him, no matter how you look, you could be tears streaming down your face walking down the hallway. He'll just say, there he is. And then
all right,
that's
I'm
all
going to
he's got.
start bringing out a condition with him. I have diarrhea. There he is.
Okay. All right.
I'm going
do
to see if I
that.
can trip him up.
Roll tape on it. Roll tape on it. Because I want to see your big hallway proclamation of diarrhea.
Or do this. Just call him on it when he says, there he is. Go, what's my name?
Oh,
see, I don't want to do that because
yes.
there's other people who work in the building where we work, and I don't know their name. So I don't want to. That's going to come back and bite me somehow.
Yeah, I know. And you ever feel guilty about that?
Yes.
Yes, terrible.
Somewhere around the age of, I think, 31, I just said, you know what? I've got enough names now. I'm done. I'm done learning names.
Yeah.
And
it's
my brain
terrible.
will not remember names anymore.
Boy, and when someone puts you on the spot too, hey, how you doing?
Hey, guy.
Good. You don't remember my name, do you? Yeah, I do.
I mean, yeah. I mean, why would I
That's
not,
the
though?
worst. Why do people do that to you? Why don't they just play along with the game?
I don't
Right.
know. You don't remember me, do you?
Yeah, of course I do.
And you have to tap dance for 5 minutes and verbally tap dance. Oh, yeah, I do. Remember we met to the thing?
John, Bill, Jack, the friend.
I mean, wouldn't it be funny if your name was like Bob or something? I mean, I know it's not, but anyway.
Right,
And
yeah.
wouldn't it be funny if it was Fred? I mean, I know it's probably not. But
That's always awkward when someone comes up to you and says, hey, Craig, how's it going? I say, hey, nice to meet you. We met 2 years ago.
yeah, we just talked 2 weeks
Okay.
ago.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of
So is the fail safe good to see you again? I'm just meeting you for the first time.
I always say just good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Okay,
Yeah.
Right.
that's a safe one there.
Yeah. And it's because of, I don't know, just once again, just met a lot of people in my life. And,
I know. I'm with you.
And I feel bad because my brain has now shut down on that.
Don't they say we use 10% of our brain's capacity?
That's a lie.
And I feel like that when we each get to that 10%, that we just shut it down, even though we have plenty of room for other names and information and things to learn. We pretty much just get to a point where we're full.
Yeah.
And we just want to deal with what we know.
Think of how many names we have up there, all the teams through the years. We're big sports fans, and we have so many rosters in there. We don't.
Okay,
you're right.
well,
we don't have room.
Maybe not learn, every second stringer on the Cowboys, and maybe pay attention to the people who are actually physically in your life.
You're right. I should be able to identify them better than I can someone who played for the Cowboys in 1981.
All right, who of the three of us has the most conflicts with people throughout our day?
George.
I seem to draw them somehow. I draw people offside when it comes to uncomfortable conversations about our show, about opinions they have about something we've said. I seem to draw that more
The
in
Lord
just
answers
day-to-day
prayers
life,
to
and I
me.
don't know why that is. I don't know.
Which I love, because George is is kind of like the nicest gentle giant among us. But when he gets activated, he is the biggest ogre I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I do have a switch.
You go
I do.
0 to 100.
I do.
And when someone pisses you off, you get so focused in your anger and just verbally dice them up like a ninja.
Oh, wait a minute now. We're talking to the assassin over here to my left in Gordo, who can absolutely annihilate someone. I do have a switch that gets flipped from time to time, and I've worked on that. I used to have a really bad temper, and I've had to really work on that. So now I just let people, say
Run
whatever
all over
they want.
you.
Yeah, just run all over me. Okay, how about this one? As we talk about things that drive us absolutely incredibly crazy. As I'm getting older, is noise starting to bother y'all more than it used to? And I'm on an amazing run when it comes to going out to eat and sitting next to a table. Not trying to profile here, but usually it's women.
Uh-oh.
And I'm always by the loud table. The group of 6 women who talk so incredibly loud. Just last week, I was at lunch with a friend. We almost had to go to hand signals. It was a concrete floor, sounds bouncing all over the place.
That's one of the problems, is that every restaurant has the same minimalist decor of concrete floors, and then the high ceilings that are concrete with exposed ductwork.
Audio bounce house is all it is. It's just, what? And I know my hearing is getting worse, but I found myself, and it's an incredible run. My perception is it's 67 restaurants in a row where I've been next to the loud table, usually of 6 to 8 women, and they've got a story, and they've all got a story and a really loud reaction.
See, I've done it before where I've waited for another table. Like when I see that's the only table available and they're going to seat me at some restaurant, I've said,
say not there.
Yeah, and you look over that table and there's 6 or 8 women there, and with an assortment of half-drunk white wine glasses. You want out of that area. You don't want to be in that area.
See, I don't notice that at all. And you guys know when the 3 of us go out to eat lunch or dinner, I don't hear anything in the background. I don't hear background music.
Not even
That's
conversations?
And not conversations. When I am at a table at a restaurant for dinner, I hear what is being said at my table, and I don't really notice anything around me. So no, I've never had that issue.
Yeah, I noticed the music, and you would have noticed at this place where we work, my wife and I, a couple of weeks ago. And again, it was so loud we could barely hear each other. And it was old Frank Sinatra songs that I'd never heard before. They were really obnoxious. And finally we said to one of the waitresses, could you just turn down the music? It's us and like 2 other tables. Could you just turn it down just a little bit? Oh, sure. Then she came back. We don't know how to turn the music down.
This issue's never come up before, sir.
We had to write it out for 30 minutes, and it was so loud.
Yeah, now that is a pet peeve of mine, if I'm in a place and they have the music so loud that I can't hear the person at my table.
Right.
And that happens a lot.
Yeah.
But it's the conversations around me, or the music, if it's at a lower level around me, I won't notice.
Oh, man, I've been seated next to so many dude bros that are over cussing in the booth over.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
I mean, and that really makes me feel old.
I know.
Like when I have the impulse to say, guys, you don't have to cuss every other word. Like, what is that coming from me?
I don't know, but I ran into it on a flight back yesterday to Texas. We're in the Midwest, flying back about. Okay, I was in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we're flying back from the Midwest, hour-and-a-half flight, pretty short flight, but it seemed long because there were 3 dude bros who F-bombed every 8 seconds loudly.
Yes.
And I'm looking around, there's kids, and I'm just.
Right.
But did I say anything? No.
No.
I just took on the barrage of F-bombs and thought, well, I guess this is just where we are now, that we can just say whatever we want to say, because don't you think the next step ahead, especially if you're on a plane, I can see the headline, radio podcast host gets into argument and plane has to be diverted.
Plane diverted.
Slugs woman.
Because I'm going to say the wrong thing. So I just keep to myself and just, okay, yeah.
Okay, since this is on the topic, I did have this happen to me the other day at one of my restaurants of my choosing. I go to this place all the time because I love the wait stuff. I usually go right after we do our radio show, so I can do work there, and there's not a lot of people there. And so I go to this place, and there's a dude sitting a couple tables over from me. Fine, for my preferred location. I have kind of the regular place I sit, and he's on an iPad. And, it's nice and quiet in there and getting some work done. And then all of a sudden, this dude decides that he wants to watch Mission Impossible 14 or something on his iPad.
With no headphones?
Turned up to 11.
Yes, he made it to the restaurant. I'm sitting there. He made it.
And it is so loud. And I don't understand how this guy is so not self-aware that this thing is this loud in the restaurant, and there's a person sitting 2 tables over from him in an empty restaurant. He didn't even go to a remote area of the restaurant. Does it right next to me.
Did you say something?
What do you think?
No.
Of course not.
You went over and pulled up a chair and started watching it.
It's my job to privately stew and ruin my own breakfast the whole time, planning on the thing I'm not going to say to it. That's my job in this situation. No, but I battled him in the passive-aggressive way. So I get out my phone and I crank up some Skrillex on it, and I'm listening to, some electronic dance music.
Did he even notice, though?
Yeah, he did. He looks over and he keeps cutting me dirty looks as I'm kind of bobbing along to this ridiculously overdriven music that I would never even listen to. But I'm doing it. But I'm putting him out now.
That is awesome. Did he turn it down?
No,
he turned
kept
it
watching.
Up?
He kept watching.
So on my list of pet peeves, I have obliviates. People who are oblivious to the world around him. And that would be this guy.
Yeah. I think almost all of these are about people who just lack some sort of situational awareness.
Yes.
Or don't care. They just don't care.
And should that bother me / us this much, but it drives me crazy when people are on the roadway and they just don't know that there's a car behind them or to their side or in front of them. They don't know that they're in the improper lane. People who don't, follow the rules of the road or the rules of a parking lot or the rules of a grocery store line or any rules anywhere, that they're just oblivious. They're so in their own world that it makes everybody else around them either miserable or agitated or puts them in danger, like a lot of the obliviates do on the roadways.
You ever get the slow walker in front of you down a hallway or something that just you can't seem to get by them?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh gosh.
And you try to make a move and they're thinking you're overly aggressive.
Yes.
Or what if you're with somebody and you're walking down a sidewalk and say there's another couple approaching you and they just, it's like they have no idea you're there and there's not enough room for 4 people on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I'm always one that will kind of turn my shoulders or
You're the one that gives.
Yeah, make a little room, and they just plow ahead. And it might be a 70-year-old man and woman, or they're just it's like they're oblivious that there are other people on the sidewalk.
Well, my theory on the people and I used to talk about this back when malls were a big deal. I think there's movers and there's non-movers when it comes to walking. And I noticed I used to run experiments back in the day because I think I move around people.
Both of y'all walk really fast.
And it really kind of started pissing me off that I realized I'm moving for everyone in this mall that's walking towards me.
That's how I am.
And they will see me even. It's not like that they don't see me. It's just they're non-movers. And I said, I'm going to become a non-mover and see if that's the deal. Am I just flinching early? And that's why those people aren't moving. Yeah. So I did the experiment and I walked straight ahead, make eye contact with them. I ran smack dab into 6 people in a row. And that's when I realized and came to the conclusion there's just genetically movers and there's genetically non-movers. And I'm just a mover.
Okay, but I don't get that then. If there are all these non-movers out there, they are passing each other and just running into each other all the time?
I don't know how that works. Jesus didn't tell me the secret of that.
See, I think I'm an overmover, and sometimes I get matched up with the overmover, and we both go right, and then we both go left.
Those are shadow movers.
Right. Shadow
when you meet your shadow mover self.
I'm one of those, yeah. Somehow I've met my walking doppelganger, and we just kind of go back and forth.
Sit there in the middle of the hallway mirroring each other, waving the hand.
Boxing match or something.
Music breaks out, you start dancing.
Are we getting to the age, though, that we've been taking it for all of these decades, and that's where the angry old man comes in? Because that other person that we have a problem with, they don't realize we've got 30 years of frustration that's been building, and we seem unreasonable when we turn up music really loud in a restaurant just to combat a guy's iPad.
But also, aren't we supposed to mellow with time?
Right.
Yes.
But
I guess both are true.
Yeah.
I think what happens is you mellow after like middle age and then you get grumpy again. Then it ramps back up as you get towards the back half of things.
Yeah. I'm afraid I'm getting grumpy, and especially when it applies to noise. When I was in high school, junior high, and if some dude passed with dual exhaust, I went, man, that is so cool. That sounds so good. And now, you're a car guy, Gordo. Have we ramped up the sound on dual exhaust?
Well,
I hate that too.
Those people are tuning their exhaust to be loud and making it ridiculous. It's like no performance function.
Shouldn't
with the things that I'm hearing.
That's a good one. That should have been on my pet peeve list. I hate that.
It just drives me insane. It could be on the highway. It could be on a residential street.
It was the other night at 4 a.m. on our residential street.
Yes, on a residential street in the middle of the night. When you get a car inspected, and this should go for any state in the union.
Oh, God.
Shouldn't you have to have a VU meter going up? That's too loud.
Right.
A decibel meter going there.
Right. And it's people just wanting attention.
How about the people that turn their car into subwoofers? It's just the whole car is a moving subwoofer.
How can that sound good inside that vehicle?
I have to imagine that at least some of those guys are in there and they have the earplugs in and they're wearing, gun range, headset. And
they've got to be.
They are their whole idea, and they have their windows tinted extremely dark so no one can see them, protecting their own hearing.
Right.
So they'll take it off real quick and roll down their window and say hi to their buddies, the music's cranked up.
Do you ever go tell them just to maybe work with the level a little bit? You got too much bass going.
I did that one time to a dude I was in a bad mood, and I was at an intersection, and the guy was next to me, and I rolled down my window and signaled him to roll down his window. And I asked the guy, he turned down the music, and I asked the guy, I said, hey, you want me to EQ that for you?
Oh,
it's a little bit too much low end.
No way.
Got a little bit too much low. It's not balanced.
Man.
Really the key is to get in that 2K ranges where you really want to hear the human voice.
You are crazy.
That is dangerous,
especially in our state.
These days, that is very dangerous to do.
This was 16, 17 years ago.
Okay.
What did the guy do?
Huh? He flipped me off and rolled his window back up. Didn't say a word.
Turned it back up.
Yeah.
I would never do something like that today. All these pet peeves around us, but if you confront people, like I had one, this is probably 10 years ago, and I'm in a parking garage, and I'm behind somebody who is, like me, looking for a spot, and they are driving at 1 mile an hour. And they are going down this lane and there's nothing there, and they turn and there's only, I have to stay behind them because there's only one way through this parking garage. They go down the next line of nothing there, but they're going 1 mile an hour. And they do this for about 3 or 4 of these lanes. And finally, I lay on my horn and I rolled down my window and I said, there's either an open spot or not. How is it taking you so long to figure this out? There's either a spot or not. Just go.
What are you doing? Memorizing license plates?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
It made me crazy. But these days, I don't even know if I would do that anymore.
That same thing happened to me at DFW Airport just the other day. The slow 1 mile an hour person going through the parking garage. I mean, clearly George is raising his hand.
Well, sometimes you don't know. Can you fit into that spot or not? I got a truck, and sometimes you have to measure it up.
If that's the case, but in my case, I was following a guy where there were no open spots, but he's driving 1 mile an hour, and you can pick it up to 10
you can.
Or 15. You can see if the spot is open or not.
I know. You can. But, man, you got to be so – just like in the airplane, I was talking about, you can't really say much to people.
Mm-hmm.
On the roadways, you can't, but at the same time, I had a guy cut me off a couple weeks ago, and then he flipped me off, and I wasn't doing anything. I mean, I was in the right lane. He passes me on the left and cuts me off. I had to brake. I must have done something to him earlier. I said, man, what did I do to this guy? And he flipped me off, and then that triggered me, and I was like, oh, okay, and I started making all sorts of wild gestures, And yeah, he could have just gotten upset and pulled out his gun. You got to keep to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me. I battled a left lane camper this morning.
Okay, let's get into traffic.
Because they were, and I'm a fast driver, and I'm not saying that is a good thing. It's bad. I need to adjust my behavior too.
Yes.
So that being said, I drive way too fast, but the people who don't understand, and I really do think that now we've gotten to a point, it can't just be coincidence. I think people just don't know about the left lane anymore.
They don't.
Like they really think that this is just another optional driving lane of just get over there.
I could either drive over here or I could drive over there.
It's just whichever lane you feel most comfortable in. That's the whole idea of the road.
I'm not even sure it's that. I think now the conventional wisdom is everyone thinks the left lane is the slow lane.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I don't even think they think it's optional. I think they think this is the slow lane is the left lane, because if you're on the highway now on an interstate, the left lane is always gummed up and the right lane is wide open.
Yeah, and I don't understand the patience of the people who are all gummed up in the left lane. I've seen a column of 30 cars behind a slowpoke in the left lane, and then the right 2 lanes are just open. I'm like, what's happening?
Well, he's going to
here?
move eventually. I'm just going to stay over here.
So I've done that thing that you've referenced, Craig. I've taken road trips where I made great time just in the far right lane.
Yes.
Some states, doesn't just the state to our north, we're in Texas, doesn't Oklahoma ticket you for driving too slowly in the left lane?
Yeah, a lot of states will. And in Texas, we even have signs on the interstate that says slow traffic, keep in the right lane.
Nobody
or
pays attention
left
to
lane
it.
is for passing only.
Yes.
Yeah, no one pays attention to it. But this dude this morning, he was going slow, and I'm behind him for a while. He can see that I'm rather close to him.
Yeah.
So that should be his signal, right?
Yes.
Because I get that too. I make allowances for, there are some people who are not very good about checking their rearview mirror, but once every minute, and I'm like, okay, this guy will get over as soon as he sees me. He just perhaps doesn't see me. Never, ever seemed to see me. And so finally I just go around him, and I get in front of him. And then around that time, I decided, I feel most comfortable going around 65. Feels like a good, comfortable, room temperature to me. So I start going slowly, and this guy starts acting annoyed back behind me, and he's trying to pass me. I'm like, I don't understand why you want to pass me. Am I going too slow? I'll just speed up a little bit. I'll speed up, and so then they can't get around me. And I had that whole battle happening, and I hated myself for it.
Didn't you follow someone one time that got mad at you, and you followed them for miles?
Yeah, and that was an experience that changed the way I did things. Because that was a little bit of a scary experience. So one of the things that I've done throughout my life is anytime there's a conflict with someone, I've noticed that people usually don't want to talk about it.
No.
They want to flip you off. They want to make their comment. And then if you follow them and say, hey, let's talk about that. I noticed you did the flip off, right? And the flip off, that, what were you meaning by that specifically? You start really engaging them in conversation. They get really uncomfortable quickly and they want to get out of it.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's wanting to drive by each other and just quick hit and be a jerk. And they don't want to talk about the issue. So there's this one dude, it was getting off at an intersection, off the highway, off a ramp. And I think he was supposed to yield, and he didn't. You know, he's on the service road, and we're coming up to a light, and I'm getting off the highway going up to that same light, and supposed to yield to the ramp and everything, and he didn't, or something like this. And so he started driving, so I was behind him, and I was at the next intersection. I was going to say, you know, roll down the window and say, hey, back there, just by the way, you're supposed to yield to that ramp. You know, I saw you, but somebody else may not.
That sounds pretty reasonable, yeah.
Well, he didn't pull over. He just kept going and he kept trying to ignore me. You know, I could tell that he could see me trying to get him to roll down. He was just ignoring me, looking straight ahead. And finally, he just raises the middle finger at me without looking at me.
Oh, no.
Genius.
And so I was like, okay, well, I'll catch you at the next intersection. And the next intersection, basically the same thing happened. Oh, maybe I'll catch you at the next one. So I just start going his way.
So he's flipping you off at all of these
about
intersections?
the first 3 or 4. And then after that, he just stopped responding to me. And I just kept following, and I would say, okay, and I'm not proud of this, but I get kind of bulldoggy about something following through to the end. Now, my whole idea is whenever we stop, I'm going to say very nicely, I'm not going to be a jerk. I'm not going to cuss or anything. I'm just going to say, hey, man, just to let you know that back there is you're supposed to yield to the ramp coming off the highway.
So
that's
how
all
long?
I'm going to say, and I was going to say it very calmly, which that's what I always do, and it always annoys people that it's not that big a deal to you. You're just passing on the information kind of thing. We drove, and we drove, and we drove. And this dude lived probably about an hour outside of the Metroplex, the DFW area.
My
So you're
gosh.
stalking him at this point.
Yes. Now, he is also in a big old truck. This is when I'm driving a little
You
economy
are
car.
insane.
He's got a big old truck, you know, with decals, Browning on the back of it, and a few different other arms dealers, and we go way out to this place in the country to some acreage, and he pulls off the side of the road and locks him up and everything, and
Oh, no.
and I pull up beside him, and I'm getting ready to deliver my hey, just to let you know, and he comes out of there, the truck. What the fuck are you doing, man? What are you doing? And I'm saying, hey, no, it's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to let you know that back about an hour ago that is you yield to the ramp. And he is freaking out and yelling, and veins are popping out of his neck, and he is just amped up. And then he goes, I'm going to blanking kill you. And he goes back towards his truck. And that's when I decided, you know, if the calm talk isn't working on this
Oh,
guy, I'm
my
just going to put it in
gosh.
reverse and get out of here. So that was as far as I went on one of those. And I said, you know, I'm not going to.
That's about an hour too far.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you got to drive all the way.
Then
Where
go
am
back.
I? I don't even know
Yeah.
where I am.
Yeah, didn't know where I was. Ran out of gas. Just ditched the car, scratched off the VIN plate, leave it for somebody to burn through the parts.
Okay, about driving. And you're right. The left-hand bog down is a beatdown. But please tell me, Gordo, I don't think Craig does this. Please tell me you're not an extreme tailgater.
I do it.
And even worse, the extreme tailgate pass guy.
I do it.
What's the tailgate pass guy?
That's someone's behind you and they get right up on you
Mhm.
and then they pass you and
Before
I
you've gotten out of the lane.
in my rear view, it looks like they miss your bumper by inches.
Yeah.
So if as they're trying to pass, if I just tapped my brakes, slow down a little bit, there's no question they hit my back bumper.
Yeah.
I think you got 2 people in here that do that,
Yes.
George.
Y'all got to stop doing that.
I'm an extreme tailgater to send a message to
Yeah.
this obliviate in the left lane.
Yeah.
Okay, but
We have no choice in that.
Yeah.
We got-
if it's a
It
left lane,
has to
that's
be
one
done.
thing.
it's our
But
duty.
if it's right lane and I'm out of your way, I'm not in your precious left lane that you need for
Call it
Autobahn
my
and,
precious left
and,
lane.
and qualifying times that you guys are running. If you are passing me and I'm in the right lane, just don't tailgate past me to where you go right up on me. And then, because what if the car in front of me slows down? I have to slow down.
I'm keeping an eye on the car in front of you.
I don't think you
I'm
can
aware of all
because
these
you're
parts.
accelerating and you're right on my butt.
But we've never clipped anyone
No.
so far, have we?
Nope.
We're in complete control back there.
Oh man, that worries me. And you talk about pet peeves, it really ticks me off. And back when my kids were little, and you could have kids in the back, and someone does that.
Yeah, and then
it makes you want to just chase after them.
It's
and
that
say,
primal thing. Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm also annoyed by the person that has baby on board. It's just like, yeah, I know. We should all drive like everyone has a baby on board.
Oh, okay, you're playing both sides of this, aren't you? Hey, since we're doing pet peeves, I want to mention driving pet peeves. I've had this happen to me now, I would say 3 or 4 times, and it happened again yesterday, and it's a positive thing.
Okay.
One of my other pet peeves is when there's 3 lanes going each way on, not the highway, the residential streets, you know, and thoroughfares, I guess you would say. And the person who is driving in the right lane, and there's 2 open lanes beside them, and then they come up to a stoplight and they stay in the right lane, but they're going straight. Like that always bugs the hell out of me.
For the person who takes the right behind them.
They take the right. We're a right on red state in Texas. And if you have choices of lanes, don't block up the right lane for people, because I've seen it before where you've had 30 cars stacked up, no one in the middle lane or the left lane, but the right lane's 30 cars stacked up behind someone who's going straight through an intersection at a light. So yesterday I had it where I was behind a guy. I turned on my signal well ahead of time because I could see the storm clouds of brewing. Because he's in his little undersized truck going straight. I was worried he was going to go straight to this intersection. And he is a guy who checks his rearview mirror, sees me behind him with a right turn blinker on as we're driving up to the intersection.
Wow.
And he moved over to the middle lane after this thing had turned red, and he moved over. A guy who's aware because he checks his frickin' mirrors.
So what do you think the percentages are?
And you know what I did? I waved at him at the intersection as I passed him before I turned right. I waved at him and gave him a thumbs up.
Well, that's good.
Good.
So what do you think the percentages are? 50-50 good drivers, bad drivers? Or do you think it's 80%?
Oh, no. I think
Obliviates?
It's 80% Obliviates. Yeah. I think that
more so today with phones and technology on
the
your
other
dashboard.
distractions, yeah.
And I think that also, as we talked about, there's genetic movers and genetic non-movers when you're walking on the sidewalk. I also think that there's like just dispositions that people have, whether they're into driving or they're not into driving. Mm-hmm. Some people just see driving as a necessary evil that they have to do to get to point A to point B.
Some people are scared.
Some people are scared, yes. But then there's others who, like, I enjoy driving and I enjoy moving and making decisions and maneuvering and all of that kind of stuff. Driving is an active activity to me. And some people treat it as it is a passive time. They just have to sit there and get through. I've always marveled at the fact that nobody seems to be in a bigger hurry. How can we have such a fast-paced society? And now we want everything in an instant, touch of a button kind of society, yet driving seems to be everyone just pokes along in my view.
Boy, I don't know. See, I see it the other way, that everyone's, and especially the area where we live, Dallas-Fort Worth, and I think those surveys have showed it, haven't they? We're among the fastest drivers in the country.
Yeah.
And yet everyone seems very slow to me.
I don't think everyone is poking along and everyone's slow. They just jump out at us. Guys like us, Gordo, we're fast drivers, so we notice all the slowpokes. But the Dallas highways where we live it's like the Indy 500 out there.
Yeah.
There are so many fast drivers. And I think the most dangerous town to drive in too.
So because of that, as people get older, do you think there ought to be an age where you have to take a driving test again? And
probably
just to see.
I know, but then you do that. And I mean, I always have, as fast a driver as I am, if I look and I see that it's an old person, always slack is cut.
That's good.
Yeah, me too.
That's good.
Me too.
They need slack.
I always think, hey, they're doing the best that they can.
Yeah. I'm not going to yell at or flip off somebody's grandfather or grandmother.
Yeah,
right.
That's a good policy.
All right, I got a couple of pet peeves on my list, and tell me if these are legit or if these are just me getting old. Or this is,
I think they're all you being
this is
dick.
man yelling at a cloud. The other day, I'm at our big lake here in town, White Rock Lake. It's a 10-mile loop around, and I go down there to ride my bike a lot. And it was a beautiful day outside. There were a lot of people out. And I go past this park bench, and there are 3 young girls. They look to be about 20, and they are sitting on this bench in front of the lake, and all 3 of them have their noses in their phone. Then I keep riding, and there is a woman walking her dog with the dog's leash in the left hand and her phone in her right hand with her nose in her phone. Then I ride along further, and the next group of humans I see, a man and a woman, I'm assuming they were a couple, walking along, not talking to each other, on this beautiful day with this beautiful lake and trees all around. They had their noses in their phones.
Yes.
And that is one of my pet peeves, is seeing the world on their phones.
I know.
But how do you know they weren't looking at things that were more beautiful on their phones, like a picture of a great sunset?
They may have been, but that's virtual.
Doubtful.
And but they've got beauty in front of them. And I just see so many people in the world today, especially in parks and places where you're supposed to recreate and take in nature and the sun and the greenery, which is all so good for our brains, and it lights up all these important areas in our medulla.
Yeah, that sounds stupid.
And they are in this other world via their phone. And it really bothers me. And I want to stop every time I see so many kids in particular out at the lake or on our trail system in Dallas-Fort Worth, where they're walking along and they're not talking to each other and they're just looking at their phone. And I want to stop and I want to say, put down the phones, enjoy each other, enjoy this lake and this 80-degree day and the sunshine, and see those. There's a bald eagle up in that tree. You don't even know it. There's this duck situation on the lake that is really interesting, and what they're doing.
There's this duck situation on the lake that's really interesting.
Notice what's around.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you.
It's just a huge pet peeve of mine.
And even if you're not in nature, we've talked about this on
What's
our,
nature?
Nature. I said it kind of weird.
You did kind of say it weird,
Yeah,
pal.
I did. But even in like a restaurant setting, and there's a couple over there, and they're out to dinner. It's a Friday night, and they're both just looking at their phones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God for phones.
No.
They give us sweet relief from the
Drives
person
me
we decided to spend the rest of our lives with.
No. Are we to the point we need to turn those in if we go to a park or if we go to a restaurant, just
No.
like kids do at school now?
No, we need it. We need
No, you
phones
don't.
in order to
No,
get
you
away from
don't.
other people.
It's creating the dumbing down of society.
Yes, bring it on.
It's
As long as it's entertaining.
it's torpedoing relationships,
care.
interpersonal relationships.
Don't care.
So where we don't know how to have conversations anymore.
Yes,
Right.
We
we
just
don't
look at
need
each
to.
other and go, hey, there he is.
Okay, now
That's all
don't
we
make
know.
him responsible for all the
That's
things
all
that
we
are
know
wrong.
how to say anymore.
All right, the other one is language. And I am really bothered, and this is in our day job at a sports radio station. I am bothered by a lot of the new slang in sports terminology.
Uh-oh.
And the one that drives me the craziest right now, we're in football season. Hey, look, they got a tutty on that play instead of touchdown. Tutty. I hate that. Is nails on a chalkboard
love
for me. And more announcers and fans are using that. No, they should skip a field goal here and go for a tutty.
Yeah,
I
get
love
a
it.
tutty.
Oh.
McAfee's really spread that. He
Oh,
was the
my
first
God,
one I ever
hate
heard
it.
say
Is he?
that.
Yes,
Well, that makes
yes.
sense because he drives me crazy, and that makes sense that he is the first one that brought tutty into the
He
lexicon.
talks a lot about tutties.
And then,
Love it.
and then all of the new football terminology that supposedly is saving time, I guess, but we can't say pass protection. We say pass pro.
That's a pass. Yeah, that one drives me crazy too.
And,
Why?
and I
Pass
think
pro.
you are maybe saving 1/100th of a second.
Yes,
When you
incremental
say
gains, though,
pass
Craig.
pro.
Protection.
Incremental
That's
gains.
all you're leaving out.
Or you can't say starting quarterback anymore. It's QB1.
Right.
Oh gosh.
Just makes me crazy.
I'm proud to say I don't think I've ever said QB1.
I don't
Come
think I
on,
have
say
either. And I
Say
will
it.
and I will never say pass pro.
He's going to start. He's going to start at quarterback. What's so wrong
QB1.
with that?
No,
Dak,
it's QB1.
Dak is the Cowboys starting quarterback.
Yeah. No, he's QB1.
And then one from baseball that started 10 years ago, 15 years ago that I hate to this day. And I think I'm winning the war against this.
You have a war against it?
Yes.
I think I may be your ally in this.
You're underwater.
Seager has 80 RBI this season.
Oh gosh. we gotta
Seager
be
had
so
4 RBI last night.
That is
No,
correct. You ought to support that.
It is RBIs.
No, it's
Since
RSBI.
baseball was born, It has been RBIs.
Yep.
And RBI is when you drive a run in, a run batted in. And if you have multiple of those, we have always said RBIs, and it's been fine.
But we've said runs batted in.
Yes, but
That's RBI.
nobody has ever had a problem with it until 10 years ago. Some baseball nerd
Decided to clean up the language.
Oh, wait,
Do it right.
that's improper.
Right.
Multiple RBIs should just be RBI. And there was no need for that. Baseball was functioning just fine without that. It's RBIs.
So you've waged a war.
And
yes.
I'm with you on this one. And I think you're right. I think it's coming back. RBIs is starting to come back, except for the highbrow baseball observer, RBI.
And you know
Kinda
why?
Sniffs after it.
And RBIs is coming back because of my hard work.
Yeah, maybe so. It's like if we want to call it an ATM machine, it's okay. We can call it an ATM machine.
Don't call it that.
If I want to say something is foobar beyond all recognition, I can do that.
That is really
It's
redundant.
okay. No, I'm with you on RBIs.
Okay, I have another one. I always get into it with customer service people.
Oh yeah.
And I try to be nice to them because I recognize that, they got a job that they're probably not so happy about. But all I ask is that just listen to what I'm actually saying and stop just saying, well, the policy is this. And, half the times I'll ask a question and they give me a rote answer, not even listening that I'm asking something else. So I've had this happen to me before. This was probably like 6 months ago. I called up this place. Is that generic?
Wow.
And I have noticed a difference in customer service people lately. I don't know if y'all have experienced this, but remember there for many years, it was always...
The customer's always right.
No. It was always... You're always talking to Austin or Justin or Cody, who was a super hip guy that had an Indian accent.
Yes.
You remember that for a while?
Yeah,
for
a while
there,
they tried that. Yeah.
They always had really Texan names, but
right.
but a really non-Texan accent. Anyway, I don't notice that as much anymore. But anyway, I'm talking to this person, and I say, look, I need to do, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I need to do two things. I need to change my mailing address, and I need to eliminate one of the optional extras on my account, the service that I don't even use anymore. Yeah, absolutely. I can totally help you with that. They're doing the real super chatty, cheerful guy. Right?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I can help you with that. Okay. Let's do this. So we change the mailing address. Okay. And what was the other thing I could help you with? Yeah, I need to take off one of the optional things that I had opted for before, but don't really use it. So I need that taken off. Yeah. Hey, listen, sorry. We can't, we have to wait 2 weeks. Anytime there's been a change on the account, on the mailing address, you can't change one of the options or something. So, and I'm like, wait a second. You heard me give you those two items right at the front of this phone call. And you knew you had a system that would lock out changes if you make this particular kind of change at first.
Well, that's our policy.
And why didn't you reverse the order with me? I don't understand. You heard the two things and knew that the second thing couldn't be done if the first thing was done. Why didn't you do it? Sir, I'm just telling this is the way.
Because the first thing you said was a change of address, sir. So
right.
That's what I did first.
Because you didn't listen. All you did was you just heard the first thing and you decided you're not even going to worry about the second thing till you do the first. Listen to my whole problem first. That's all I'm saying. I've noticed that everyone is just on autopilot and they're just doing what is this you need? Okay.
You're right. And hey, at least you talk to a person.
Yeah.
A lot of times you are talking to some sort of machine.
I've got one along those lines, customer service, pet peeve of mine. It's when you call and you first get the machine, you get the automated voice, welcome to duck situation on a lake company. Please enter your 7-digit phone number. And I enter my phone number. Now, do you want this department, this department, this department? I press 3 and it transfers me to this department. And then I get a real person and they say, okay, who is this? My name's Craig Miller. Okay, what's your phone number? And I always say, you just asked me for that. I just punched it in, so now it should be there on the screen. Why am I having to give my phone number 3 and 4 and 5 times?
It's for your security, sir.
Yes, the robot didn't tell me what your phone number was. So, and Gordo, I will give you some credit. You were right about this a long time ago because witnessed you one time in a standoff about not giving your phone number. And I remember thinking, man, just give them your phone number. We're just trying to get our press credentials or whatever we were trying to do that day. But it has gone so far that I think I told you this story a couple years ago, but I went in because this place sells a brand of shampoo that I like to use.
Gosh, that's generic.
And they have it in stock there. Got it off the shelf. Go to the register. Yes, and your phone number? Well, I don't want to give that out. I can't sell this to you unless you give me your phone number.
That's
sell you it.
ridiculous.
I said, what do you mean? I just came in to buy a thing of shampoo. Yes, but we need to put you in our system because I said, no, you don't. I just want to buy shampoo.
Okay, so that's exactly what I did where you were yelling at me that one time.
And I just said I was sorry. You were right. I was wrong about it.
You did. I need to graciously accept the apology.
And the way I got out of that one was gave him the number to time and temperature still works in Dallas-Fort Worth of 214-844-4444.
I know. That is my name in so many databases. I mean, my number in so many databases is time and temperature. I know. The data harvesting is just incredible. And people just go along with it because you as a customer are also on autopilot. And you're thinking, well, I just have to give it to them.
Right. And sooner or later, I should join this one store I go to all the time for pet supplies.
Generic.
They ask me every time, number? Well, you can save 5%.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I know.
That's okay. But, sir, you come in here a lot. I know that. I just don't want to give my phone number. You can save 5%. Oh, gosh.
I know.
So maybe I should do that.
The,
give them a fake number, I guess.
I will pay the, yeah, give them a fake number. They don't need the actual number. They just need a phone number.
Okay.
But if they find out that it's a fake number, you don't save 5%. They charge you 5% extra.
Yes, they'll charge you more.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I don't get why they all. I guess it's, and that's the thing is it's they're doing all this data harvesting for a reason, and people talk about how important the data economy is now, and I don't know what's going to eventually happen with all this data. Why is it so valuable? Are they basically going to be with AI? Is it going to get to be where they know our minds so much better than we do that we have zero shot of ever making an honest purchase?
That's right.
And thinking it's our idea because they've been targeting us, just subtly priming us for forever. And I know that all of advertising works on priming and framing and anchoring and all these psychological concepts, but we always used to at least feel like we had a fair shot against the advertisement working on us.
We also witnessed you in a standoff about giving your phone number for biographical information, and you accused them of that they were going to sell it. Sir, we don't sell our numbers.
Yeah.
That
was awkward.
But that's okay.
I think you were right on this case.
But I was right on that one too. And she was like, no one's ever asked us that. Because I was asking, what do you need the phone number for? And why do you
we put it in our database.
Yeah, but I don't want it in the database.
Yeah, but that's where we put it.
Yeah, but I know that's where you put it, but I don't want it in the database. And do you sell this to anybody else?
We don't sell
it.
We don't. Put it in there.
We don't sell it to anyone else. We just share it with our valued partners. Wait a second now. That phrase is doing a lot of heavy lifting, in my opinion.
Valued partners.
Share it.
You share it. You don't sell it, but you just share it with your valued partners. I don't want it shared with the valued partners.
With your valued partners who pay you to be your partners.
Yes, right. Well, they pay us for a partnership. You're right. They pay you for my information. No, they don't pay for your information. They pay us for their partnership.
Boy, that was a merry-go-round I didn't think we were going to be able to jump off
so
of.
Frustrating.
All right, I've got one more pet peeve, and I think this is for me only. I don't think it applies to you guys because I think you guys like doing this kind of stuff. And I've told my wife this repeatedly.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Anything that we purchase that is some assembly required, that is my maybe ultimate pet peeve. I cannot stand that. Back in the day, when you went to a furniture store and you saw an end table that you liked,
you could just buy that table.
You would buy that
sit down
table
and buy it.
and you would either walk out with that table that was actually on the floor or they would deliver that table to you.
Mm-hmm.
But now almost everything you go to a furniture store, I'd like that end table. Okay, you can pick it up in back. And when I go in back, it's in a box with some assembly required.
Hey, that's not the table.
Recently, I've had to...
I was purchasing that table.
Yeah.
Yes, this is that table. No, I mean that actual table. That's what I thought I was buying.
Recently, I've had to assemble a bookcase, an end table, a bed.
Oh, beds are the worst.
Yeah, all of these now come with some assembly required, and my mind doesn't work that way. I don't like building things. I've never been a builder. I don't like assembling, following instructions. They're always terrible. They were printed in Taiwan, and they're very
the English
unclear.
is really spotty if there's any on
if
it.
you can find it. It's
the other
upside
thing,
down on the other
mainly
page.
it's done in pictures now.
Yeah. Yes, and it's hard to follow. Now, thank God we also have YouTube videos, which we all go to, who are terrible at putting stuff together. But I've told my wife, look, this always takes me 2 hours or 3 hours. That's a big chunk of my day, and I hate every second of it. Whatever you buy next that requires assembly, I will pay $1 million to some person to come and do that for
Let
me.
me be your assembly guy. Yeah, Giorgio and I are starting a new business right now.
Because it is such a beatdown. I think it's my number one
See,
pet
okay,
peeve.
I'm torn between this because, like, I like building things and so that doesn't bother me. But it does bother me on principle that it's, I went into broadcasting and podcasting. I didn't go in to work on the final step of your assembly line here. I feel like the companies are getting away with something
They
now
are.
by they outsource that final destination assembly to you, the consumer.
When you buy a house or a car, it's not some assembly required.
Right.
You get that car ready to roll. You get that house ready to move into.
You
That
buy a
could be
house,
next.
but you got to do the tape bed and texture on it.
Right.
Have you ever
Drives
done
me
a
crazy.
assembled a gas grill before, where there's like
No.
300 parts?
I wouldn't even try.
I did that like 20 years ago, and anytime it's something like that now, yes, always pay to have it.
You don't
assembled.
like that when it says?
Oh my gosh!
It says, number 4 bolt, 127 pieces.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, is that 4 or 5? That looks a lot like 5.
Is the thread pitch a little different on them? I can't tell.
And the last couple things I've had to assemble, they've left a part or a bolt or a wrench
Missing?
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been missing.
I found that too. The last few times I've assembled, maybe it's just my assembly, but I'm missing a part,
Yeah.
or I have too many parts. Do they put an extra part in there for people like me?
Yeah, usually they'll put an extra part in. Just like 1 or 2 extra screws or bolts.
Okay.
I mean, they don't put like an extra grill top or something like that on there, like an extra clamshell top.
That bed I just assembled was missing a big part. It was like a footboard or something, and I
Jeez.
just put it together without it.
How? How's it standing?
Well, the frame still
Yeah,
all the way around.
Yeah, the frame still was there, and everything else was fine. It was almost more ornamental, but it was a big part that should have been a part of it. Hate that so much. And I won the war against RBIs, and I'm going to fight
You didn't.
this.
There was no war.
And I'm going-
congratulations.
I'm going to get companies and manufacturers to, when you buy an item, it is given to you or delivered to you fully assembled.
I like it.
I also had my road trip to Atlanta recently. I was eating dinner at the hotel and with one other person, and it had the gratuity included, like for a party of 2. I've seen it on big parties, where they do the 18% gratuity already added to your bill, but I had the option for additional gratuity, which is so nice of them to offer me that option.
Wow, what a great option.
So then it's like you figure up the extra 2%. That's difficult to do. Then you have to tip them more, and then I didn't want to tip more because now I'm pissed at. This is the whole problem: is you get pissed at the company that's putting this on the receipts, but then
What about that poor
the server doesn't have to take it in the
server,
shorts.
So did you put $10 or did you put 0.0?
No, I've added additional gratuity, and I put it up under it begrudgingly.
You know what I'm going to try next time they do that? If they have the gratuity already included, and I don't like that. If there's a spot for additional gratuity, I'm going to put minus $5.
Really, you can subtract out.
And just see if that
Take
works.
that off of my bill.
Why
please.
does it always have to be a positive
Right.
figure there? Why
Here's
can't
our
it be a
new
negative
total down
figure?
here. Food
Right.
wasn't very good, and neither was the service. So
That'd be
here
great.
we
And
go.
I think it also had a service charge on top of all that.
Yeah.
So it had included gratuity
gosh.
and
Oh, man.
a service charge.
That's another great pet peeve, service charges.
And should we have tips when we buy food at stadiums? Because we've heard that does not go to the people who are working hard behind that
No.
counter. It goes to the team.
Right.
I've heard that too. But I get people yell at me every time I talk about tips. There's some
Yeah, that's
people that
probably
just
wrong.
get so ticked on. But it's like I was at a concert recently at the merch table, bought a like $120
They want tip?
sweatshirt, and they spun the iPad around. I said, you can make one of these selections.
Wow.
And my selections were 20%, 25%, and 30% tip.
Wow.
To the guy who reached in the cardboard box, and the burnout that reached into that cardboard box and handed me a sweatshirt.
There you go, dude.
And the dude just made like $30 off of handing me that out of the cardboard box.
Man, we just did an hour on pet peeves. Couldn't we seriously do 4 hours?
Probably.
Yeah, probably so.
But not today.
Nope. That'd be about good for today.
Because I'm done talking today.
Me too.
Thanks,
And-
Peter Welpton, our producer here at The Musers, the podcast. And thank you to you, the listener. And hey, all of our back catalog completely available to you for absolutely free. Free of charge.
No service charge.
No service charge. No gratuity. We're not going to make you include gratuity in this. We just ask you to check it out. If you see something that you like in our back catalog, listen to it. The Musers, the podcast. Available everywhere that Jesus wants it to be.
Gordon is correct about that, and Jesus would also want you to double check and make sure that you've pressed follow or subscribe on whatever podcast player or audio thing that you are currently right now listening to The Musers, the podcast. Don't forget, you can also reach out to The Musers via email, themuserspod@gmail.com. The Musers podcast is a Tired Head production.